Okay, class, picking up where we left off at, it says one number exceeds another by 24. So basically, we have a first number and a second number. It says the sum of the numbers is 58. So one number exceeds another by 24, so we can make the first number x, and if the other number exceeded by 24, it'd be x plus 24. Now, we're told that the sum of the numbers is 58. So we would take x plus 24 equals 58. X plus x is 2x plus 24 equals 58. Now we will subtract 24 on both sides. And we will add 2x is equal to 58 minus 24 is 34. Let me write the remainder of this here. Now we will divide each side by 2, and x is 17. Now we know the first number is 17, and so our second number, which is x plus 24, is equal to 41. And this will be our final answer. And these are the two numbers. Now we have h. The sum of a number and 15 is 41. Find the number. The sum of a number and 15 is 41. So we have x plus 15 is 41. We will subtract 15 on both sides. And x is 26. And that is the final answer. Now we come here to I. It says 9 subtracted from 8 times the number is 39. So now it says find the number. So we will have 8 times the number minus 9. This is 9 subtracted from 8 times the number, and that equals 39. Now I created more space, so I'll be able to solve this problem here. So here we will add 9 on both sides. We have 8x equals 48. Divide each side by 8, and x is 6. Now we go down here to J. A number increased by 12 is 4 times the number. Find the number. A number increased by 12 is x plus 12 is mean equal 4 times the number, which is 4x. They want us to find the number. So we will subtract x on both sides. So 12 is equal to 3x because we want to get x by itself. So we'll divide each side by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and that equals x. So that is our final answer. Now we go here to K. It says if the quotient of 3 times a number and 4 is decreased by 3, the result is 9. Find the number. Now we know quotient means division. So we would do 3 times a number and quotient and 4. So it'd be 3 times x divided by 4, and it's decreased by 3, and the result is 9. Now what we need to do is get x by itself. So we can start off by adding 3 to both sides. So we add 3x over 4 is equal to 12. Now to get rid of this 3/4 off of the x, we'll multiply each side by the reciprocal, which is 4/3. Now these will simplify out, and this will leave you x. 12 times, we'll put this 12 over 1. 12 times 4 is 48. And 1 times 3 is 3. 48 divided by 3 is 16. So that is our final answer. Now, example, it says Rent-A-Heap agency charges $125 per week plus 20 cents per mile to rent a small car. How many miles can you travel for $335? So let's take a look at this. They charge a flat rate of, let's do this, it'll be x is equal to $125. That's the flat rate plus 20 cents per mile, and we don't know how many miles it is. So actually I should use a different variable. Let me use y here, because we don't know how many miles we've traveled. How many miles? Okay, so now we're told that we spent $335. So Y would be how much we've actually spent, which would be $335. We got $125 plus the 20 cents per mile. Now we want to solve for X to see how many miles we could travel off the 335. So we'll subtract 125 on both sides. So then this will give us $210 is equal to 0.20x. Now we will divide each side by 0.20. And these 0.20s will simplify out and leave you x. So now we had 210 divided by 0.20. So then that would give us 1,050. And so our final answer would be we can travel 1,050 miles for $335. That would be your final answer. Now example, according to the National Center for Health Statistics, in 1990, 28% of babies in the United States were born to parents who were not married. Throughout the 90s, this increased by approximately 0.6% per year. If this trend continues, in which year will 40% of the babies be born out of wedlock? Okay, we need to write our equation. So we will have y is equal to. Now, this is what we need to do. First of all, our starting number would be the 28%, which would be 0.28. And we're going to add because throughout the 90s it increased by approximately 0.6% per year. So 0.6% is 0.006. And then that would be multiplied by x. Now x will represent the year because it's 0.6% per year. So x will represent the year and y will be the actual percentage. Okay, so now we're given here 40%. So 40% will be our y, which we'll write as 0.40 is equal to 0.28 plus 0.006x. Now we want to get x by itself, so we will subtract 0.28 on both sides. So 0.40 minus 0.28 will give us 0.12. And let me erase that to write that just a little better. Now that equals 0.006x. Now we will divide each side by 0.006. And now, so this is 20. 0.12 divided by 0.006 is 20. Now remember, going back here, now let me re-explain this. With x, I said x would be the years, but x is supposed to be the years since 1990, because that's what year we started with. So what we would need to do with this answer here, we need to add 20 to 1990. So it'll be 1990 plus 20. So the year would be 2010. So our final answer would be babies born out of wedlock will reach 40% in the year 2010. And that would be the final answer. Okay, now we scroll down to the next example. You are choosing between two long distance telephone plans. Plan A has a monthly fee of $20 with a charge of 5 cents per minute for all long distance calls. Plan B has a monthly fee of $5 with a charge of 10 cents per minute for all long distance calls. For how many minutes a long distance call would the cost for the two plans be the same? So we would set the two expressions equal to each other. So plan A is $20 plus we will have 5 cents per minute. So X would be the minutes. And that's equal to, we would have $5 plus 10 cents per minute. Now we would solve for X. So we would subtract 0.05X on both sides. We will have $20 is equal to $5 plus 0.05X. Now, we will subtract 5 on both sides. And we will have 15 is equal to 0.05X. Now, we will divide each side by 0.05. And we will have, this will be 300 is equal to X. So we know that this is minutes. So at 300 minutes, the plans will cost the same. Okay, now we go to the next example. Your local computer store is having a terrific sale on digital cameras. After a 40% reduction, you purchase a digital camera for $276. What was the camera's price before the reduction? Okay, now this is what we need to do. The first thing is we need X to be the original price. And then now we can set up the equation. It would be X minus 40% of X, because it was a 40% reduction, is equal to $276. Now X minus 0.40X, remember this is assumed to be 1X, so this would be 0.60X is equal to $276. Now we would divide each side by 0.60, and we will have X is equal to, so the original price was $460, and that is your answer. So you can write down the camera price before the reduction was $460. That would be your final answer. Now, we have solving a formula for one of its variables. We know that solving the equation is the process of finding the number of numbers that will make the equation a true statement. So far, all of the equations we have solved contain only one letter, primarily X. Formulas contain two or more letters representing two or more variables. Solving a formula for a variable means rewriting the formula so that the variable is located on one side of the equation. It does not mean obtaining a numerical value for that variable. So let's take a look here. It says solve the formula P equals 2L plus 2W for L. That means we want to get L by itself. So we will subtract 2W on both sides. And we have P minus 2W is equal to 2L. Now we'll divide each side by 2. And we have P minus 2W over 2 is equal to L. Now you can have this as your answer, or we could separate this, and it'll be P over 2 minus W is equal to L. Either one of these would be your final answer. Now we have solved the formula y equals mx plus b for m. So we need to get m by itself. So the first thing we should do is subtract b on both sides.